Swerve, 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 swerve. Swerve, 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 and swerve. What's up, guys? I'm Code Gray. Welcome to the channel. What's with all the swerving? Well, that's an important thing to do every time you go out. Now, why is that important every time you go out? Well, that's going to relate to one of the two close call stories I'm about to tell you. Now, unfortunately, the first close call that I had over the weekend, unfortunately I wasn't filming. But I did scare the crap out of myself, and I did scare the crap out of my wife, and it was 100% my fault. But the second close call, not quite as close, but still pretty close. That one I was filming, so you're gonna get to see that one. So we're gonna start this video off with the story, and the second one with a little bit of footage. Then we're gonna finish this video up with a little test ride I got to do. Very cool, but pretty short. Okay, so why all the swerving? Well, actually every time I go out and ride, every time I practice my swerving. It's usually right at the beginning, right when I take off. First few roads I go on, I do some pretty heavy swerving, you know, like so. And there's a few reasons I do that. One, it is a decent way to get heat into your tires. Granted, the best way is like heavy braking and just riding in general, but if I can help it along, that's what I'm going to do. Now, the most important reason that I go out swerving like crazy every time I ride is because it keeps my swerving skills sharp. And beyond that, I am making sure that I instill muscle memory. And because of the story I'm about to tell you, I am really, really glad that I do that every time I go out. If I didn't practice this, and if I didn't have the muscle memory, I wouldn't be on my bike right now. It would be pretty smashed up. Okay, so let's get on with the story. This past Saturday, my wife was out visiting her brother, and she took her bike to go visit. And when she was done, she wanted to meet up for dinner. So I jumped on my bike, and we met halfway in between in this little city called Menor, and we were headed out for dinner. Now, after we met up, we started going down the street, about a 30-35 mile per hour road, and we were riding like we normally do, me here on the left hand side of the lane, and she's on the right hand side of the lane behind me. And there's some traffic lights and things like that. And what I normally do when we ride together, I can usually always see her in my right hand mirror, and I can just glance back there and I see her. So we're going down the road, and I take a quick glance in my mirror and I don't see her there. So I adjust my view down a little bit, and I still don't see her there. So I start looking behind me, and I still don't see her. Then I end up getting a little scared. I'm like, oh crap, something happened. So then I made the mistake, and this is 100% my fault, and it was very stupid. I kept on looking. I kept on looking behind me, looking for her. And I wasn't looking in front of me. So I squat way down, and I finally got just the right position. I caught a glimpse of her behind me. Yes, she was fine. She just happened to be in that one little area. I was in like a total blind spot. I couldn't see her in my mirror anywhere, and I couldn't see her by turning my head. And I got a little worried. But yeah, I squat down like this, way down. I got a good glimpse of her, but when I turned back, I'm doing about 30 to 35 miles per hour. As soon as I turned back, what I didn't realize is there was a pickup truck in front of me that had come to a dead stop. And when I turned my head back, I was less than 4 feet away from his tailgate. So now I'm doing about 30 to 35 miles per hour. I turn my head. That truck is at a dead stop in front of me. There's no time to brake. There's no time to even think. And thankfully, muscle memory took over. I didn't think to do anything. I reacted. And the way I reacted was what I've been practicing every time I go out. I swerved. And I swerved super hard. Of course, to the left of the truck, because I was already on the left-hand side. And I swerved, and I swear I must have missed that bumper by mere inches. My wife said she couldn't believe that I didn't hit it, and she couldn't believe that I didn't scrape the side. That's how close it was. But anyway, swerved hard, and then hit the brakes. I came to a dead stop right next to the driver's door. I looked up at the guy. He kind of looked down at me and, raised his eyebrow at me like, what are you doing? I just put my hand up. I'm like, sorry, dude. He's like, okay. Walked my bike backwards. Wife's, you okay? You all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, that was my first close call of the weekend. It was actually the closest call. Yeah, needless to say, the adrenaline was flowing after that. Yes, so I will reiterate, make sure you practice your swerving. You don't have to spend hours and hours on it, but do a little bit each time you go out. That's what I do. And it definitely saved my ass, let me tell you. Definitely saved my ass. All right, so let's move on to close call number 2, which happened the very next day. So, yep, that Sunday I had plans to meet up with my buddy Brian. Lives in the next city over. And we decided to go out for a ride to Squire's Castle. Now, we had no problems at all going to the castle. Good ride there. Good time there at the castle. The problem arose on our way back. Now, since I was more familiar with the roads that we decided to take on our way to the castle and back, I led, and we were on our way back, and at this intersection in front of us, a black truck had pulled out in front of us. Not close or anything. He had plenty of time to pull on out. We were quite a ways back, but I seen this black truck pull out in front of us, and that should have been my first sign of danger right there. Another black truck. But anyway, we were riding on down the road. Everything was going fine. Now, I guess is this my personality? I've come to find out, but when anyone's riding with me, especially if they're behind me, I kind of like to keep an eye out on them just to make sure nothing happened, that they're still safe, nothing's gone wrong. So I tend to glance in my mirror quite a bit. Well, it just so happened that this black truck too decided to come to an almost halt right in the middle of the road too. And unlucky enough for me, I was looking in my mirror at the time. Now, this wasn't quite as close as the day before, but he stopped quick enough to where I had to cram the brakes. Well, instead of me describing it to you, let me just show you the footage. Here you go. Fuck. Woo. Close one. Somebody's burning something. Smoky. Oh yeah. They're burning leaves. Okay, bad idea. Anyway, as you can tell by the footage, that it wasn't super close, but it was too close for comfort. Let's put it that way. I ended up giving about maybe 80% on my front brake because I definitely didn't want to lock that up. But as you heard, I definitely locked up my rear tire. In case you're a newbie, you can lock up your rear tire and keep on going straight. You'll be okay. It's not great for the tire, but usually you're not going to crash from just locking up your rear, as long as you got control of the front. You don't want to lock up your front. Don't do that. So, locked up the rear, about 80% pressure on the front, came to a stop. Now, you guys know GoPro makes things look farther than they are, but even though the truck looked far away, he still wasn't really all that close. I'd probably maybe 6-7 feet, you know, behind the truck when I came to a stop. Enough to make my butt pucker, but, you know, not enough to sweat bullets too much anyway. So what have those two things taught me now? Well, it's taught me to stay away from black trucks while I'm out on my bike. I see a black truck, I'm gonna give them plenty of leeway. Now let's get on to the little test ride. If you haven't been to the channel, a couple of times now, I went out on a ride with my buddy Brian, which I mentioned earlier, and he happens to ride a BMW S1000RR. And he was very nice enough to let me take it on a very small test ride while we were out Saturday. Now, I say very small. It could have been longer. Brian was fine with that. But personally, if I'm on someone else's bike, I don't know. I'm weird. I feel weird. I'm not sure what it is, but I just don't want to take the chance of accidentally damaging their bike or doing anything like that. So I kept this very slow test ride, very short. Now, before I say anything at all about that BMW S1000RR, I'm going to show you the footage. So let's roll that first.
You got to try it.
Okay.
It's in dynamic mode. It's pretty basic mode.
Okay. I'm at mode 1, full power.
Okay. Steering lock.
Yeah, steering lock. Yep, push it in and turn it.
Oh, remember this bike.
Yeah.
Remember this bike.
All right, first time on a BMW S1000RR. Ready? Nice and smooth. Well, that is nice. Oh, I like the TFT display. This is very nice. It's very loud too. Oh, quick shifters, nice and smooth. This is a nice, comfortable position. He wasn't lying. First time on any BMW. This position kind of almost reminds me of my 650. Yeah, I cannot get over how comfortable this bike is. This is really nice. Very nice. It's got a quick shifter and an auto blipper, but I am so used to my bike, it's hard to remember to use it.
What do you think about it?
Dude,
It's different.
I can't get over how comfortable it is.
Yeah. This thing actually is so light, I forgot what it felt like.
Yeah.
It's so light. But the seat is so slippery. I was like, holy.
Yeah, it's a slippery seat. Yeah, for sure. It's really smooth.
Yeah,
turns nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Bren tuned also, so I noticed too on this without the ECU flash, it on-off throttle is a little jerky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Throttle plate's closed.
Yep. Yeah, it takes a little bit of getting used to for sure.
But it's so light.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, you rode it a little bit.
I did. Yeah. It was nice, man. Yeah, that position is like almost perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Yeah.
You didn't even get the rip on it. You have to go above 8,000, then you finally get power.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right. Someone else's bike, I feel, you know.
Well, you tried it.
Yeah, I did try it, yep. Now, as you can tell by that footage, I like the bike. Now, I'll be actually really honest. Honestly, I really like that bike. Now, I said in that footage that bike was comfortable. That bike is astonishingly comfortable. I was so surprised because it's a BMW S1000RR. I figured it would have an even more aggressive riding position than the bike that I'm on. But nope. It is like a very comfortable sport touring bike. I did get it on some twisties. Nothing quick, obviously. Felt very smooth, tipped over, nice and easy. Everything was really nice. Now, do I have anything negative to say? Well, nothing technically negative. There's a couple little quirks that I'll mention, but both of those quirks are they're just different to me because I'm not used to it, and I'm 100% sure that anyone, including myself, would get used to these things within less than a week of riding it. And the first one is where the turn signal is placed. Mine's right here, nice and easy, just my thumb touches up. I don't barely have to move my hand and I can get to my turn signal nice and easy. On the BMW, I have to stretch my hand out and move my thumb over quite a bit to reach it. It's just in an odd position, and like I said, that's something that you'd get used to within a week, nice and easy. It's not like strangely out of position, it's just in a different position. Okay, the next thing that I'll mention is the brake lever for your foot. That brake lever. On my bike, it is fairly even with the foot peg. So my foot kind of sets like this, just at a slight angle. And when I want to put on the rear brake, all I have to do is move my foot forward a little bit, push down some, and I'm hitting the rear brake. On the BMW, that brake lever sets down quite a bit at an angle, okay? So on that bike, your foot would be kind of more like this position, and you have to push backward quite a bit more to enable your rear brake on that bike. Now, like I said, it wasn't in an uncomfortable position or anything like that. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just different than what I'm used to. And I'll say again, within a week, no problem. But before I go, let me say that make sure you practice your swerving. It could save your ass. It did me. Practice your emergency braking too. That'll help too. And I guess go test ride a BMW S1000RR. I bet you like it. I bet. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. But I'm going to go. I'm Code Gray. I'll catch you guys in the next one.